Hey friends, this is Shawn Washburn, and you're watching Shawn in 60 Seconds. And today's wrap-up of curiosity is going to take us a little longer than 60 seconds because I wanted to talk about a few things. So we've talked about curiosity this week, but I think there's a little more to it. And I want to give some examples at the end here, but I think there's 4 C's to this process. And the first C would be caring. And I think you have to care about yourself, you have to care about your environment and the world around you. You have to care about your workplace before the curiosity comes into place. So first is caring about those things. Then naturally you ask questions because you're wondering, I wonder if this could be better. And that's what a curiosity is asking questions about yourself. What makes me tick? Why am I always frustrated about this thing? Why do I get energized doing this and I don't get energized doing this? And so that curiosity is what drives a lot of the, going forward and asking questions, just not being okay with the status quo. And so caring, curiosity, and then curiosity, I think naturally leads you to challenge. And that's where the rubber meets the road, because once you ask questions and once you realize, hey, things aren't going to get better unless this changes, you have to be able to challenge the status quo. Maybe that's with you. Maybe you have to challenge how you are and be willing to go on a retreat or go through a course or meet with somebody or somehow be willing to change and let yourself become maybe who you were meant to be, and maybe you've gotten off the track from the start. But then too, if it's your workplace or it's the world around you, it's being willing to say, hey, I'm willing to risk myself to challenge the way things are now to make a difference. And so caring, curiosity, challenge, and then I think the last one that comes is change. So when you're willing to go through those 3 and you stick it out through the challenging part, which is the tough part, you can actually make some real change in yourself, make some change in the society around you, in your workplace, in your relationships, and that's where you really be able to look back and see how this works. So a couple of my favorite examples, some of these have been used a lot, but the Wright brothers has always been inspiring to me. They looked around them, they were curious, they stared up at the sky, they looked at birds flying and asked, why can't we do that? What is it, just because we're designed this way, is there a reason why we can't be up there with those birds? So they asked those questions, they challenged the way things were, and they tried and they tried and they tried and they tried and tried, and they finally came up with something that worked, that ultimately led to now when we go on the jet, we don't even think about flying. It's like a second nature. Martin Luther King is a great one. He was curious about just the way things were in the country, and that led him to ask questions. And he cared about his fellow man and people that he felt like were not being given a fair shake in society, and then led him to challenge the way things were, even at the cost ultimately of his own life. And he brought real change and real, we benefit from that in the way our relationships are and the way things are in our country, and there's still work to be done. But there's still people who are being curious and challenging and changing things now in that arena with race. And then one of my favorites was, personally, is Jesus. Jesus was a guy, because he was God, he knew, but he was still curious about people. And when I read through the Bible, I love how, if I put myself in that Bible, I would have been one of the outcasts. I would have been one of the ones that he was curious about and spent time with. And as he was curious, he challenged the way things were. The people who said that they loved God during that time and really weren't loving God very well or loving people very well, he challenged the way that was and forced them to make a decision. And in the end, I feel like he's brought some of the most lasting change that we've ever seen in the way that the world has changed. So wherever you're at today, I know this is a long one, but wherever you're at today, I want you to be curious about yourself, about the world around you, about your workplace, about your relationships, your marriage, your kids. But be willing to be curious, because when you stop being curious, life just happens to you, and you look back 5 years down the road and you just see that things had just happened and you didn't realize how that even happened. But when you're curious, that's where real change happens, and I think you'll see that you'll be satisfied with the life that you've lived when you've been curious and willing to make those changes and challenges and bring real change to your life and the lives around you. So thanks for listening to these videos on curiosity. I'd love to hear your comments below the videos, and I'll be coming back with some more videos soon. So thanks, and I'll talk to you later.